Hey there, I'm Amrita from Artria Jewelry, and today we are going to make a Christmas tree ornament. And this is an ornament that I've accented with a green acrylic bead. You could choose to just have the plain Christmas tree, or you could customize it for gifts and have different colored beads dangling there. And this Christmas tree is on a handmade ornament hanger, and I have another video up on my channel that will show you how to make this yourself. But today we're going to just make this simple Christmas tree. Tools you will need: a steel bench block or an anvil, a small ball peen hammer or a jeweler's hammer, a ruler, needle nose pliers or bent nose pliers, and wire cutters. I have these flush wire cutters that I'm going to be using. Material: you will need 12 gauge aluminum wire and 20 to 22 gauge aluminum wire. I am going to cut myself from this roll of 12 gauge aluminum wire 15 inches. And we're going to flush cut the sides, which means we're going to cut the sides straight. I'm going to do that with the straight flush end. And then we're going to use the second step of our looping pliers to make the first loop. And this is going to be the top of the Christmas tree. And then I'm going to hold this and use the fourth step to make a loop. Push this up against that first loop, and around the fourth step, make a loop in the opposite direction. So we are snaking back and forth to form that tree shape. I'm going to do that again. And with each time, it's adding more width to the tree. See, it's taking shape now. And I'm going to do one more this way. And we will hammer this out to toughen the metal and work hard on it so it holds its shape. It'll also spread out and look neater. And I'm going to do a last one back, and then we will do the rolling out of the tree. So the base of the tree. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to use my first step of the pliers to make a closed loop and then swirl all the way to the middle of the tree. Okay. So here is your modern art tree, and I want to center this top because that's where I want the tree to hang from. So I'm just going to use my pliers to lift that to the center. And then I'm going to use my ball peen hammer and steel bench block to texture it. Now, aluminum is a very soft wire, so make sure not to hit it really hard. You just want to let the weight of the hammer do most of the work. So if you can see, I'm holding it very gently. I'm not like clubbing it down, just a gentle hold and letting the hammer do the job of texturing the metal and work hardening it. And as you do this, the metal will shift, but we'll reshape it, so don't worry about that. I find it easier to do one side and then turn it around and do the other. I'm going to flip that around there on the same hammered side facing up and hammer the rest of it. So now you can see it's a little misshapen, so I'm going to flip it and then slowly, softly pat it. And then we can just move that up back and forth. So now you could leave the tree entirely like this and have a simple tree, but what I'm going to do is add a neat acrylic bead accent to the bottom. Alternatively, you could have a crystal or a pearlized bead topper. So you can do a bunch of them in different combinations. So you could have a crystal up there and have the tree dangling, but I'm going to do a green bottom. So for that, I'm going to take about 6 inches of this 22 gauge wire. I'm just eyeballing that. I'm going to make a knotted loop for the bottom, a head pin. So we're going to swirl this wire about 3 loops. So you're making 3 loops on that wire, and then you're going to pull that up like that and then pass it back through that hole that you just made with the loops, and you get a nice knotted head pin. And I'm going to slip the bead onto that. Now, if your bead has a larger hole, you could just use the 12 gauge wire to go through that and then just hammer the end of it, and that will form a stopper. But since this bead has a smaller hole, I'm using this finer wire. And then I'm going to make a loop with the second step. But before I close the loop out, I'm going to slip the bead onto the tree right there like that, and I'm going to tie this, wrap this 3 times and snip that off. And then, like with everything that we do, we're going to do the tuck. Okay, and there we have that Christmas tree done with its neat green dangle. And here is the Christmas tree on its very own ornament hanger. I hope you enjoyed making this with me. Please like, share and subscribe, and join me tomorrow for another video as part of this 12 Days to Christmas challenge. Have a beautiful day.